Hi everyone, welcome to Darfur Voices on WordPress.com. My name is Kevin Aries and I'm sitting here with
April King
and Allison McDermott.
And today we're going to talk a little bit more about Darfur and kind of what it means to the college community.
Well, do you think that we should define it first? Do people really know what it is in general?
Well, I think the thing about Darfur, April, is a lot of people don't know what's going on, and the people that do know what's going on really don't care, and I think it goes further than just the college community. I think the world and the government of the United States as a whole just hasn't done a whole lot to really look at Darfur and see what we should be doing about it.
I mean, I totally agree. When we were assigned this topic, I didn't know anything about it except that it was just like a mass genocide going on.
You hear about it every day, but I feel like it's one of those things that gets pushed off until you actually have to sit down and research it. Nobody knows. Nobody does anything about it, but maybe people are doing something about it and we just don't know that they are.
I think there's always an exception to every rule, and I think to just generally state that America and more specifically college students don't care about Darfur, I think that's wrong to say, because there are certainly people that do care. I know, for example, at Georgia State University, they've organized a lot of events that have created awareness to their college community about Darfur. One instance of this is they created an event where they created a mock refugee camp, and they invited college students to come, and they really experienced what it's like to be a refugee in Darfur. So I think to say that nobody cares isn't right, but there are people out there that are really trying to create awareness for this tragedy and genocide that's going on in Africa.
Yeah, I agree, and I know that there are definitely groups here at Quinnipiac that have things going on for anti-genocide groups and things like that. And I also found some interesting stuff on the internet about high school students doing things. I mean, high school students are the next college generation, so I found one site where a girl actually raised $3,700 by herself for Darfur, and just within her community and her high school raised the money, and I mean, hopefully she'll go on to a college and do the same thing and bring the awareness that she brought to her high school to her college as well.
Allison, it's interesting that you mention high school students taking an active role in the Darfur crisis, because I do believe that it's that generation and our current generation that's really going to make the difference. I think we've grown up in a world where we've been exposed to technology and really have experienced how small the world is, whether it's through Facebook or instant messaging online, and all of a sudden Africa doesn't seem that far away. And to maybe our grandparents, Africa's a whole other continent, and we don't need to worry about that. But to people our age, I think that they really realize how connected we are as an entire world. So I think it's pretty interesting that when kids that young really feel compelled to do something in Africa.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, because she did this through the website, so if she didn't have any of, the knowledge or the internet or the media that she obviously learned about, then she might not have raised as much money. So I agree, I don't think that my grandmother would be starting a website for raising money. She might be doing something else, but I mean, the fastest way to reach people, I think, nowadays is through the internet. So, I mean, she's probably really connected to the country as well as to her fellow students. So.
I also saw something that Yeshiva University and Cornell are doing. They do Darfur Awareness Week, and I feel like we should bring that to QU.
What exactly do they do in the Awareness Week? Do you know?
They just kind of do different events, and because Darfur is defined as the modern day Holocaust, they kind of relate it to the old what happened during World War II. And they just raise money for the cause, and they kind of do starvation, where people pledge to not eat for a few days in order to raise money for the cause.
I think the overall theme that we're talking about here is that there are people that are really trying to make a difference, and it's good to highlight those positives. A lot of these people I don't think get recognized. And certainly, I believe they deserve all the recognition that they can get because they've really, gone about and done something that they believe will change the world. So good for them, for anybody who really takes a stand, so to say, against genocide.
And I also think, each individual college is doing their own thing for Darfur. Like you were talking about the kids in Georgia who are doing the mock refugee camp, and I know MIT students did a Die for Darfur thing where they kind of just did like a sit-in, and I know that there's also like groups that bring all these colleges together, like STAND. It's like a nationwide kind of college student anti-genocide thing, and I think that even if these colleges like aren't making that big of an appearance like in the media and everything, if every college like joined these groups, then that's a big thing.
I think really colleges are the keystone for change in the world, because I think there's a lot of great energy that goes through colleges.
Definitely, I feel like with these examples, it kind of clarifies the question. Like some people say, like, can college kids really do it, or like do they need to have like people who are like government officials to change the world? And with these examples, college students can make a difference on their own.
Yeah, I think they're the ones that are the most passionate about it. They're doing this because they want to do it, not because they're getting paid to do it or they have to do it, but they want to and they really feel passionate about it. So that's pretty important.